What up, it's your boy Dave B. You watching DaveBeyondTV, where we go beyond the everyday bullshit that people be consuming on a day-to-day basis, and we doing a real quick full moon and Capricorn breakdown and stuff like that. I wanted to make this video before I either went live or made a full version of the full moon breakdown, to at least just kind of introduce the energies to understand what's going on right now in the sky. So, you know what I'm saying, with the moon in Capricorn, this is first of all, it's a full moon moment. So right here with a full moon in Capricorn, where we're at a new level when it comes to our responsibilities. Like I've been saying, leading up to this point has been a process of coming to a decision. You know what I'm saying? It's the first, we're officially into the summertime, the first day of summer. You know what I'm saying? That was yesterday. It was 0 degrees Cancer. We're now 1 degree, so we're still cuspy, but right now we need to lean towards the decision that we're making. And the full moon is kind of like, it represents a full culmination of basically everything that we're deciding to move forward. Now with that full moon, right, satisfaction energies, and on the positive side of what we're trying to do, looks like us being able to accept the fact that we are at a new level. There's certain new restrictions and boundaries and limits that we have to honor ourselves first, before it's almost like a twofold thing. You know, you need to accept those responsibilities for your own first. So these need to be the first things. Like, so when it comes to you and how you move and how you operate with certain things and how you choosing to move forward in life, these things that you need to, basically your actions need to reflect what you decided on as a personal choice, right? Now, a lot of people are going to be hit with indecisive energies, right, where the responsibilities and things that they're expected to take care of, right, as far as like material type things. Because remember, Capricorn represents our responsibilities on that level, on the earth level. Now we're in Cancer season, so it's like what a lot of people are gonna want to do is revert back to what's comfortable. They're going to want to revert to, you know, feeling safe, and maybe even playing into whatever their insecurities trigger them to be satisfied with, versus taking a chance on themselves and basically maturing. Because Capricorn represents, on the opposite spectrum of Cancer, the ability to step into something extremely uncomfortable and to make it real, make something new real. You know what I'm saying? It's the initiator of the earth energy. So it's like, that's why Capricorns, you'll hear a lot about a Capricorn's life, and you be like, damn, that's a lot of like heavy responsibilities that you had to take care of as a young child. Whether it's like at a young child, they didn't have the resources, so they had to work and grind to get them, or maybe they had those things presented to them, but there was still some other aspect of their life in which they had to put in a lot of hard work, whether it be internally, mentally, or physically, whatever may have you, right? So, you know, that's what makes that Capricorn energy so real. It's like it had to go through a certain amount of restrictions itself in order to be in a position or status to be known for what they at one point may have lacked. So again, growing up, you might have been homeless, didn't have no money, but you worked and grind to be at a position now in your maturity to say, hey, I've done these things for myself and I'm known for it. Now that process, again, a lot of individuals can lose their spirit in that sense. You know what I'm saying? And when I say lose their spirit, it's like they lose their sense of self into what they had to work so hard to gain. So this is where, again, if you got Capricorn energies, this is where, you know, life as on a spiritual level can get very difficult, because it's like in that pursuit of what it is that you were trying to build, you might have lost pieces of what made you genuinely you. You know what I'm saying? So you instead of being able to experience life as a kid, you had to put on all these responsibilities, but you never got that time back. You never made it a priority to heal those parts of you that now have become so cold and, you know, or maybe not, yeah, cold and fixated. You know, it's like frozen energy. You know, that's why, like, again, Capricorns who maybe haven't done the internal work can give off a certain coldness that you're like, damn, like, you know, why has it got to be so cold in that aspect and cutthroat? But what you don't understand is what they've been through to get to that position. A lot of that, they started to think that what it took to get there is who they are, and that's not really the case. So in this energy, right, just talking in general, what we're all dealing with as a collective is like like I said before, now that we're in the beginning of the summertime, this Cancer energy, this Cancer season is all about making that decision. It's all about, and then by making that decision, right, you satisfy the moon in the sense of feeling comfortable, being comfortable, even though you're dealing with uncomfortable situations. You're able to feel and resonate and connect with the responsibilities necessary to bring that experience to you. Because remember, we supposed to be bringing things to us rather than going out and chasing things. See, if you're unsatisfied at the moment, you're going to either feel like you need to chase something, or you're going to react in the opposite way of running away from it. And it's going to be, all of it is going to be looking like some kind of lower octave Cancer energy, in which you're too busy crying and complaining and bitching about what you might have to do in order to get into a certain position, or you're going to be choosing to revert back to, again, like I said, basically responding more so to your insecurities and acting on insecure ideas and insecure motives to avoid having to step up to the plate. Because that's the thing with Capricorn energy, it's about maturity. So this is really the part in this season, in this year, in this cycle, that we have to grow up on certain things. We have to accept certain things as what they is. If we're pursuing something, we have to make that decision. But with that decision, again, it's easy to just say, yeah, I want that, but it's a whole nother thing to embody that and actually bring it to you so it can be real. So right now is that opportunity for all of us to get into a mode where we can start manifesting shit for real. Even though during full moons, it's not about manifesting, it's more so about protecting, preserving, and observing in a lot of ways, seeing how you react and respond. Or because remember, full moons mean there's a tremendous amount of emotional energy, so reacting and responding on a whole different level. So we need to be more into a space where we can receive what's necessary, right? That's you being in satisfaction energy, and you being able to process these different things being thrown at you at different angles. And then we need to make it look like the sun. So we take that full moon energy and we put care into things. So what it is that we want to maybe cultivate as a reality around us, we need to now apply the proper amount of care and nurturing to that idea, to that seed, to whatever we planted previous moons ago. You know what I'm saying? Now, a lot of people are saying there's going to be 2 moons in Capricorn. So whenever there's 2 of a same moon, I like to look at the first one as our introduction into that energy, into that space, and the second one being the confirmation, where we decide to either double down, or if we made mistakes in this first one, it's now to adjust those it's like trial and error. You adjust what was an error and you do it again, but this time you do it with a lot more efficiency. You know what I'm saying? A lot more accuracy. You get a lot more on point with things, and you move in a way that is actually respectable. Speaking of respect, that's a lot of what this Capricorn energy is about too. It's like you want to respect yourself enough to pursue these things that you have as goals and missions, and actually play that role and position, and not get swept up about what you think other people might think, and you know, all these other things that really don't matter. Now, real quick, because I don't know if the story's gonna cut out, but when we talk about the moon in Capricorn, is trining Mars energy. So again, feeling comfortable with our passions enough to build on them, right? Remember, Mars is in Taurus, so it's about making these things like realistic steps towards whatever your goal is, and being able to resonate with those things. So right now, again, don't get caught up with the Capricorn energy, because it might have you feeling that resistance with yourself to want to kind of freeze up, and maybe, you know, you're looking at what your goals are requiring or asking of you, and you might want to, you know, take 2 steps back, but you don't realize that right now this is like one of those times where it's really about stepping up to the plate, and whether or not it's perfect or not is not really important. You know what I'm saying? You might still feel like, again, Lilith is dancing between Virgo and Libra, so you might not feel like you really got the social currency in the actual physical attributes to maybe make something real, but you have to put that faith into yourself. And this is where the sextile with Saturn in Pisces actually plays out to a benefit. It's the opportunity to have faith in what you might not see in front of you yet. You've been already building certain things, and there should already be representations of you actually, you know, basically seeing glimpses of how far you can go in a certain energy. So you have to kind of, again, it's all a decision to make. It's the summertime, so you have to lean into what you want to see for yourself, and go full force in that. You know what I'm saying? And again, anytime we're in a cardinal energy, it takes a certain amount of energy and focus to push something into existence, to make something work. You know what I'm saying? You can't look at things like, oh man, this ain't working yet, so it might not be possible. It's a cardinal season for a reason. You have to give birth to it, even if it means going through uncomfortable situations, even if it means having to deal with a little bit of pain and discomfort. It's up to you deciding on what's important to you to make it real and make it happen. Now, the moon is also going to be squaring Chiron, so learning from mistakes we made that made it less possible to claim that position, made it less possible. You know, we might have pulled the trigger too soon, was a little too trigger happy in general. We didn't capitalize on certain opportunities that came in the past. Right now, we have to kind of hit that second win. And again, like I said, it's all dependent on a decision you make. So whether or not that's important to you enough to care about it is really up to you. It's in your hands. So depending on what you agree with, that's going to determine how you approach these mistakes. Have you learned those lessons? Are you here to seize those opportunities? Or are you going to allow the same mistakes as before slow you down once again to the point where you may not get another chance or opportunity to do the same things at the same capacity, at the same level as you once was able to? You know what I'm saying? It's like you had an opportunity to go to the NBA, but you wasn't training how you was, so you couldn't make that team. You had to settle for the D League, right? But now a couple years pass and you get another opportunity to play at the NBA, but two things happen. You missed out on your, you know what I'm saying, your debut, so you know you don't have that, and then it's a couple years after you got into the league, so it's like you didn't get to hit the league with that first introduction like a lot of stars do. You know what I'm saying? You had to kind of grovel a little bit, and so it might not hit the same unless you that strong of a spirit to make it hit the same. But it's like time passed and the hype died down, and you couldn't capitalize on what was a opportunity like you could had you done the work in the beginning. And this is really what that double full moon energy is about. If you don't choose to capitalize on things at this moment, you might miss that same fire. You know what I'm saying? You might miss that same inspiration that you had when you first started it. You know what I'm saying? So think about it like that. You know, if you don't step up to the plate and take care of those responsibilities and represent that brick by brick energy right now, again, later on, it might not hit the same and might not be the same capacity. Moon trining Uranus, you know, feeling comfortable and connected to your unique path is like the unique work you got to go out and do. All your friends might be doing something else, but you know, as an individual, there's certain responsibilities and work you got to do. All your friends want to stay out till 3 a.m. You know you got work tomorrow, so you need to take your ass home regardless of what the homie's doing. You know what I'm saying? You need to take your ass home so you can get some rest, so you can get up in the morning and take care of business, because you on a different path than everybody else around you, and you have to acknowledge and respect that. That's another thing. It's squaring the north and south node. So it's like energies in which we have to consider things that's for us on an individual level versus things that who we're relating to might be still involved in. That ain't got nothing to do with you. Your responsibilities are your own to take care of. Your homie can't work your shift for you the next day. You got to get up and do that shit. So whatever they doing with their time, that's on them. You know what I'm saying? And you don't got no business really worrying and concerning yourself with too much of what everybody else got going on, when you know you got shit you got to do. You know you got shit on your plate. You know you got shit to take care of. Take care of that shit. And that's a big thing, you know, taking care of what we got to take care of is so important right now. It's Cancer season. So again, all cardinal, you decide what's important for you to care about and put in work towards. And that's kind of the energy in a nutshell. Trying to think of anything real quick off the top of my head. You know, this is really just energy, and again, reacting and responding to forms of status, you know, what we're known for, being satisfied on that end. We have to be satisfied with, again, and that question is really looking at the whole springtime you spent. Are you proud of what you did with your time during the spring? And if you are, then okay, you know you're on the right track, and you can continue to capitalize on that energy by now, again, stabilizing yourself, getting 10 toes down on it, taking it seriously. If you don't like what you did with your time in the spring, now's the time, again, that unsatisfaction energy. But now you know, okay, what I need to do now is apply more restrictions and boundaries and limits on those things that I didn't like for my springtime. Same thing if you did like what you did, because if you are satisfied, then you know it's almost like doubling down on what you was already in the mode of adjusting. You know now, okay, yeah, let me take that restriction 10 times harder. Or, you know what I'm saying? You knew that, okay, let's say you was on some kind of diet and shit like that, and now you see, okay, the results of my diet is actually working. Okay, let me take it up a notch. Let me actually go for longer fasting or more workouts, and let me add a little bit of something to it and again, you're looking at sustainability. So it's not about going extra hard and trying to do the most. It's about keeping things in this very calculated system, you know, and understanding the systems that been working and what systems may need to be incorporated to further, you know, to take whatever it is you've been doing further. That's what it's all about. You want to take shit further at this point in time. Also, with the moon, right? Oh no, with time in general, time right now is moving fast. Coming off this Gemini energy, you'll start to notice time moving a lot more fast. So, you know, take advantage of that. You know, right now you can get a lot of work done if you just concentrate, though. It's all about your ability to concentrate. We got Venus and Mercury in Cancer. So everything we communicate and what we show love and passion, love and compassion for is predicated upon how comfortable we are with it, our ability to care for it. So when you're talking to people, understand other people's emotional state might determine whether or not they can receive whatever information. Your mood is going to affect what you hear and how you respond to certain information too. So keep that in mind as well. Don't get too caught up in, you know what I'm saying, like, understand that what you're listening to, what you're receiving as information is going to be colored in by how you feel about it. So you have to make sure you do the extra shadow work to not get caught up in certain cycles based upon you not liking what you hear. If it's truth, it's truth. You know what I'm saying? Separate your personal response from something to what's real. You know what I'm saying? And that might be extremely hard to do. You know, and this energy going to be opposite to the moon. So again, right now, you might have to accept things that you don't want to hear. You might have to deal with some things that aren't as pleasant, but you know it's a responsibility and you know you got to take it serious. So, yeah, that's all for now. I see the storage done cut out on me, and I got to get my ass to work anyway. So, I'll be back with either another video or I'll go live and we'll get it done right. You know what I'm saying? Go all the way in on the energy. So anyway, much love. Catch you on the next one. Peace.